What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another video. So it's been a week since I got the plants from Thailand. Let's check them out and see how they're doing. Alright, let's get started. And I'm not even going to attempt saying some of the name of these plants. I just have no idea. But anyways, the plants, let's start with this one. Look at this. Looks pretty good. No contamination. Pretty good. Let's zoom back out. Yeah, I mean, they all look pretty good for this plant in particular. Just as a refresh, I purchased 38 species, well actually 39. The other one was separate from select from the US. It will probably come from Thailand anyways, but from the Thailand order, these are the plants. So this one looks pretty good. Anterior big bill. Let's see. So I mean, it's live, so it's doing well. It's alright. Let's get to focus. So yeah, I mean, I think it's starting to put some new shoots, so it looks good. They all look okay. As long as they don't get contaminated, I'm happy. So we'll see. I have some contaminated plants. I want to show you here in a second. But Anterior bill looks good. What is this? This is another Anterior. Like I said, I'm not even going to attempt to say that. Looks good, looks clean. Like I said, all I'm looking here, or today, is that they are clean. So they all look good, and I'm only going to show you the ones on the front, because you can see I have 20 of each. So all of these, like, they are the same. All of these are the same, and all of these are the same. So I'm only showing you the front as kind of as a reference, just so I don't make the video that long. I mean, previous video it was like 45 minutes, so it was too long. Also apologies for the audio on that video. Basically, my microphone right here, the piece that goes here to hold it broke, so the microphone was on the floor and the audio was pretty quiet. Like, my voice was very, very quiet, and I also had the laminar flow hood on, so it was very noisy. It was probably hard to hear, but I just wanted to I didn't want to scrap the video, so I just put it up. Hopefully it was okay, but like I say, it was the audio, my voice was very quiet on that video. But anyways, Philodendron giganteum looks good, looks clean. A dead leaf over there, but it's not too bad. Yep. Let's see. So those are some roots. I may have to move this to new media soon. I just didn't do a very good job on cleaning up the plants, so I may have to at least do that. I may have to open, remove that dead tissue, and put it back in the. I could probably use the same media, or I may switch it to new media. What I do definitely need to switch to new media, and I need to re-sterilize, is sclerosum, Philodendron sclerosum flat form. It is contaminated, so this is the first one, the first victim. So we have some sort of fungus or bacteria growing in with the plant. So I will re-sterilize them tonight and tomorrow morning, and then I will record that as a video. So if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe and come back next week to check on that. Another Philodendron. Looks good, looks clean. I'm not expecting a lot of growth. It's just been only a week, so. But yeah, the plants are all alive, so it looks good. Alright, so this guy, this other Philodendron violin, it is growing this contamination. Oh, hold I mean, you can see that contamination right there, where I don't even know if it's well, it is bacteria, but I don't know what kind of bacteria. I need to do some research. To use some pink bacteria. So this one is contaminated. However, this one is clean. And it's contaminated, contaminated, contaminated. I need to check all of the rest, but I think they're all contaminated but one. Yeah, I mean, this one is not, but you can see it's starting to get contaminated. So yeah, this is another plant that I need to re-sterilize. Alright, so let me skip that one and then move to this one so I can get it out of the way. Philodendron glorious. So Philodendron glorious looks pretty good, looks clean. I need to remove some of those roots. I don't want those roots. So when moving plants to tissue culture, if they have roots, I like to remove them as they take energy from the plant. So because at this stage I don't care about the roots, I care about multiplication. Is this one contaminated? 1 second. No, it is not. It is not contaminated. But yeah, that root, I just need to remove that root. So that was Philodendron glorious. And let's see. So next, Philodendron serpens. I mean, it's clean. Clean. When I say clean, I'm actually not sure. You can see, look, the media looks very cloudy, but I think is the media. I think the media is cloudy. I think I didn't mix it correctly, and the gel and gum got this one got a lot of gel and gum, and it is probably a pretty hard media. So, but what I can see, I don't see any contamination, so that looks good. Now again, this is only been 1 week, so I already starting to see some contaminations on some of them, but I may still get some more in the next couple of weeks because I'm also using ppm in the media. So with the ppm inhibits the contamination. Whatever you have a ton of contamination, it still is going to show up, but it's not going to show up immediately unless it's like a really severe contamination, which it just going to, doesn't matter what kind of antibiotic you use, you still want to deal with it, and then you have to re-sterilize your plants. So all right, this Philodendron Florida Beauty, they all look great. Like I said, I just need to remove the roots, but yeah, it looks good. Next is contaminated. Now this one is one of the one that I have on the last video. I don't remember which ones were the other two. From the last video I moved 3 into the cups, and this one is the one that I say that I thought I saw contamination. So yes, it got contaminated. Now this is the first one that gets contaminated with actual fungus. All the rest, the previous ones had contamination with bacteria, but this one is actually fungus. So it is growing very fast, very aggressive. It's growing very fast, and so it's starting to kill the plant. So this is for sure. I had to remove this one, so I want to be working on this one tonight. I want to re-sterilize this one. So like this one is dead, this one is unsavable. I'm not sure if I'll be able to save this one. I don't think so. I think this is dead. No, this is dead. This one is dead, and this one is dead. So unfortunately, it looks like I may lose this Florida class. I think I can work with this one. I think I can save this one and a few other ones, but I'm not going to go to all of them right now. That's going to be on the next sterilization video, where I'm going to go to my sterilization process. Alright, let's take a look on this one, the tricolor. Very big leaves, but yeah, unfortunately I see contamination. So we have more of that pink bacteria once again. You can see right there some of that pink bacteria. So yep, contaminated. Not all of them. I can see that one is not contaminated. The one on the bottom is not contaminated. Doesn't seem like it. Maybe. So yeah, I'll have to clean them again. So I don't know what is the contamination count, so I probably want to set it somewhere in there, or at the end I just want to count how many are contaminated. But we have a Philodendron strawberry shake. Again, it also has some of that pink bacteria. So I mean, that's what you get when you buy plants online. You're going to get some bacteria and contamination. So one thing that I do is, if I sell plants, which is actually quite rare, or if I use trade or do something, I make sure I only trade or sell whenever I have the cultures like they are about to explode, whenever they are they need to go into new media immediately, but I just don't have time. They are just it's just like that. So I make sure they don't have any contamination. And I mean, they've been growing with me like for many months at that point. Or so if you get a plant from me, it's been in the cup for a while essentially. And I use a ton of this sarin wrap to make sure they don't leak, like you saw on the previous video where they didn't have anything. They have the vacuum seal bag, but the cup itself it leaked, so that didn't do too well. So anyways, let's move to this guy here. And let's see. I mean, I do see some contamination from the ones from the back, but not all of them. So like this one, it is okay. This one is okay. That one is contaminated. That one is contaminated. So that can be also one part of my fault, maybe. Like maybe I didn't when I moved the plants, maybe I induced the contamination myself. It was probably I mean, who knows? But like, if you have all the contamination on every single one, it's probably already contaminated. But if you have some that are contaminated and some that still look okay, it was potentially it may have been my fault. But who knows? I like this guy right here. It was probably from when I cut them. It was probably the top, so it's probably why it doesn't have any contamination. But the ones that had contamination, the one may have been the ones from the bottom. As you can see, this one has the roots, and those are the ones that show contamination. But the ones that I cut, like from the middle, the top part, to make more plants, they are still okay. So I don't know. They probably the contamination is maybe coming from the roots. You can see right here, contaminated. All right, so let's move on. I don't even going to attempt how to say that, but it looks pretty well. Looks good. They all look good, so I'm happy at that one. Philodendron glirosum dark form also looks good, so that's great. And lastly here, Philodendron splendid, which also looks good. Sorry, Maya. Yeah, so also looks good. So let me move all of this out of the way, and then I will show you the ones that I have on the bag with the larger deli containers. Give me 1 second. Alright, next, these are the plants that I place in the larger 16-ounce deli container, and this is Alocasia black velvet variegated, and this one I broke the leaf. This, you can see I broke it when I was placing into the media, but it looks fine. That black that you see in there, that's from the previous media, the charcoal that they use on the previous media. So I'm not using the charcoal, but you can see there's still some in there. Let's check this other one. You can see it looks a little bit of variegation. You can see right there. This one is the biggest plant, and you can see the variegation. So it is a very nice looking plant. There is no contamination, and yeah, it's growing. I mean, it's putting growing some new leaves, so that's exciting. Let's take the last two. This one and the last one. Actually, this one fell into the media, so I may have to open this and place it back. Anyways, let's see what is next. We have Philodendron Bor Max variegated, and you can see it now. It looks good. There is some variegation in there, so yeah, it looks great. You can see some of the variegation. No contamination. Some decent roots. But yeah, it's also growing some new leaves, so that's great. I'm happy with this one. Oh, look at this guy, Monstera. Oh yeah. Now you can appreciate more of the variegation that I was talking about when I was doing the unboxing. You can see it looks great. So yeah, I'm super happy about this plant. It's just a single plant, so I had to really babysit these plants because I only have one, so I need to be very careful, extremely careful with these plants, as if I see any contamination I need to immediately clean it, place to new media. So I have to take a look every single day. Look at this guy. Looks great. So what I seen so far, I don't see any contamination of any of the deli containers, so which is great. Any of the single plants, which is great because these are the most expensive plants. You can see, looks great. Nice leaves, excellent. Philodendron Florida Beauty variegated, very nice variegation, no contamination. That fuss that you see in there, that's from the root. That is no contamination, that's from the root. Philodendron Strawberry Shake, looks alright. Looks a little pale in comparison to the other plants, but this plant that's how this plant grows, so that's okay. You can see right there in the middle, right here, it's a new leaf, so it looks good. Alright, let's see what we got over here. Have a Syngonium milk confetti. You can see a lot of the roots and a lot of that dark charcoal. I may move this to new media, or not to new media. I may cut the roots, but we'll see. Looks nice. hoping I can get some multiplication on these plants. Oh yeah, they look good. No contamination, so that's what we're looking for. Caramel marble variegated. There is not a lot of variegation on these plants. Like this one doesn't have any variegation. These are hard to get variegation on some of these plants. The variegation percentage is very low. This one has 2 plants in particular, so that's great. This one, it was a little clump, so I was able to get 4 deli containers. I could have get 5 because there are 2 plants in here. I think I missed that. So, but yeah, looks that one. This one looks good. Oh, this other one looks very pale. Not sure about that one. And oh well, actually it was 3. This is another plant. Anyways, another philodendron. Looks good. No contamination. New roots coming up. So that's great. Oops. You can see the roots there. Sorry, I'm playing with the gimbal. Yeah. Okay, let's get. Next, we have a location. This one, let's see. Is this supposed to be okay? Yeah. Okay. Well, let me save this for later. Okay, look at that. Looks good. Very long leaves, which is great. I can't wait to have one of mature plant of this one. I love this plant. Yeah, looks good. Locatia Garcia Bambino variegated. Look at the variegation on this guy. Looks great. And there are new leaves coming up, which is fantastic. Yep, looks great. Philodendron. You can see when I was typing, I got a autocorrect, so I had to fill up the rest of the name. Oh, it has some variegation on it. I didn't realize it was a variegated plant. Yeah, looks good. Another location. Look at that variegation. Nice. A lot of roots. That's good. And new leaves right there, right in the middle. Right there. Also looks great. Alright, so let's get back to this guy. To this allocation. So this is the one that I took from the bigger plant. So the bigger plant is actually right here. Here it is. So this is the small one that I took, which is growing new leaves. And look at this guy. One of my favorite plants that I got. It is growing big. It came out of from one of these flasks, like at this size. Either one of these, or it was on like one of these. And look at that! Look at the size now. So they really like the new, the big, more space with the big 32-ounce deli container, and they are growing big leaves now. Like the last 2 leaves, the taller 2 leaves are new, which is growing so fast, like just 1 week. That's crazy. So that looks great. All right, let's see what else we have. Monstera. I just made a TikTok on this plant. Make sure to follow us on every social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook as well. We post a lot of shorter clips. Look at this. looks great. Took some of the roots out. It's already growing new roots, and yeah, it looks good. You can see that fuzz right there in the middle. That's a new root. That is no contamination. Yeah, looks good. The roots are growing. Plant is happy. I'm happy. Let's see. Look at this. Bueno. Very nice. I can tell it has grown since I placed it into this new media. It has very nice variegation, and it's growing some new roots. So that's good. But I mean, this is multiplication media, so I'm not really looking for roots. I want multiplication, so that's what I'm looking for. But I mean, it's doing all right. So yes. Check this Musa Nono. So I got back to this to the seller because when I saw this, it just says Musa species, and I didn't say Nono, or I mean, it looks identical to the Musa Florida, but they reply and send me an image or how they look when they get bigger. So it just kind of start turning pink color. So we look forward to see that. But so far it looks alright. Looks a little burned, but that's how it came in. So we'll see how the new leaves come out. But looks so good. So far so good. Now this is Musa Nono. Now look on Musa Florida. Look at that. It has grown a lot. Like it was about this high right here. Like I say, it was in one of these jars, which is not even as tall as the dairy container. So it was about this big, and look at that. It has grown all of that in just 1 week. So it looks fantastic. There is a lot of stuff going on here on the back. So if I take a closer look, the media is a little cloudy. I didn't mix it all very well, so it's a little cloudy, but it's okay. But the plant is happy, so, and that's good. We got a Syngonium red spot tricolor. Beautiful plant. It's growing well. Okay, all right, last three. So we have Monstera Thai constellation. The leaves are doing well. It was the leaves were still closed when I moved this, and they are opening now, so that's great. But yeah, just one plant. I cut the roots, like I say on the like I say I was going to do, but you can see this is what I cut right here. This is the one that I cut. It was a lot longer, but it's growing new ones. So okay, well, that's fine. But like I say, I want multiplication. I don't want roots. And look at this guy as well. He's growing fast. So Alocasia Okinawa silver. Like I say, it was just maybe about this high right here, and the new leaf that it grew is all the way to the lid. You can see it's not even fully open yet. Well, yeah, you can see some of the variegation on this one, these leaves. But yeah, it looks fantastic. So these are all the plants that I got from Thailand. So they look well. I think I got like 6 or to 8 contaminated. We'll see. I will check what is the final number. I will get those sterilized tonight and tomorrow. Now before I go, let me show you what the Spiro Santi, if you don't know Spiro Santi, look like. So this one is from a seller that I got here in the US. So from one that was supposed to be one plant, I actually got 5. So I'm actually very happy about that, because it's a really expensive plant. I paid $300 for it, but I know some people have, especially last year, paid a lot more than that for just one single plant of this, like about this size. So yeah, it looks great. plant looks great, so I'm happy. Starting to grow some roots as well, and new leaves. So like the last two are new. So this is a very small one. Again, it's growing new leaves, so that's great. Let's see, they're tiny. This one looks alright. And the last one. And there we go. So yeah, they are not contaminated. They all look great. Hopefully they still they stay like that. Like for the other plants that I have, like 20 cups from, those were not that expensive. Those are the kind of the cheaper plants. These guys are the expensive plants. So these are I think I spend more money on all of these plants than the rest of the other ones. So these are the ones that I really care the most. For the other ones, I do care for the other plants. But if I lost them, it's not really that big of a deal. I can probably make another order, or maybe with another seller. Not because I don't think this seller was good. I think the communication, it was fine. The shipping was good as well. Everything, I think they are all positives. Well, I won't say all positives because I mean you can see you see that all contamination, but I mean that's if you are purchasing plants from Thailand and you're only doing that not because you want to place them on tissue culture, maybe you want to take them out and place them directly into soil and grow like that. Perfectly okay, fantastic seller. You're doing that. If you're trying to move them to new media, I mean that's when you take the risk of contamination. Maybe it can be on their end or it can be on your end. But I will say that I'm very happy. Good. I will buy more plants from them. I think if they have more, I mean, I pretty much bought all of the plants that they have. But if they have more different plants in the future, I could probably place another order with them as well. But there are other sellers that I want to test as well. See how they do. They have some other different plans that I want to purchase as well. So I want to do that as well before I place an order with the same guys that I place this order from. So I mean that was everything for today. You want to see how I re-sterilize the other plants? Subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be posting that next week. So yeah, I will see you next week, and goodbye.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching the video. If you're enjoying these tissue culture videos, be sure to follow us on social media for more informative content. And if you're interested in conducting your own tissue culture experiments, make sure to check us out at plantcelltechnology.com for all the products you need to get started. Use the code FP10 for 10% off your first purchase.